Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they match up with Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, while much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff, no such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They're losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last weekend, they pulled one out in a very low-scoring affair. It was all about their defense.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here to lead out the offense in his first year as a Dolphin, but 15th overall, it's the bearded veteran Ryan Fitzpatrick. And the new coaching staff coming in, they finally decided to pull the plug on the Ryan Tannehill era after 7 seasons and no playoff wins. So enter Ryan Fitzpatrick, signed in free agency, fittingly on St. Patrick's Day, by the way. But last year with Tampa Bay, you remember Fitzpatrick got off to that incredible start. Over 400 yards passing in each of the first 3 games of the year, 11 total touchdown passes, and now it's his time to do it with Miami. And he fires one that's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number 1 from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
And out now come the Eagles.
Go. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead it 7-zip. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off, and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. There are the numbers for Brate from a week ago. 8 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Kenyon Drake, he was kind of underutilized last year when Adam Gase was head coach. Only 7 starts, but now he's going to get a chance under new head coach Brian Flores to really showcase his talent. He certainly flashed his diverse playmaking abilities a season ago. 9 touchdowns, 5 through the air, and 4 on the ground. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. A look now at the Miami offense.
I remember when Laramie Tunsil was coming out of Mississippi and I was evaluating him for the draft in 2016. Ended up writing down a description that I tended to like, and I'm going to use it here now. He's got feet like a receiver. He's got a body like an offensive lineman and hands like a boxer. Put it all together, you got a heck of an offensive lineman.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field.
And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route.
And Rich will not be able to get rid of it. He's taken down for a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a draw play with Drake. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We've got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
X3, 218.
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To throw is Wentz. And this is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Wentz to throw again. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Running, it's Drake. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Regular. Hey, check.
On 2nd down now, it's Drake. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here's Fitzpatrick, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A first throw for the backup Rosen. And Blake, the tight end's got it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Getting set for the next drive, the tight end, Zach Ertz. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far, as we see here on your screen.
They may have to drop coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly, because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Howard. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there, first down. Wentz going to throw. He's going to loft one, deep left side. It's caught at the 10. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. And even 50 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Now, Wentz again. And he's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Don't forget, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Pats and the Texans from NRG Stadium in Houston. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's supposed to be really cold up in Seattle as we've got the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field at 8:15 Eastern. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Here's Rosen to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Faking the give to Drake, now Rosen. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Fitzpatrick throwing complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. Wilson now in his 2nd season in Miami. First 4 years were in Kansas City. He's always been a solid complementary receiver, but Miami really hoping he can take the next step in his development, be more of a go-to guy now at 27 years of age. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Now it's Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll set up the screen to Drake. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Rosen to throw again. And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps. But they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown.
And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Sanders now to add the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good. Playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you.
They got his man complete. And all the way down to the 29. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll begin in Charlotte, an NFC matchup between Washington and Carolina. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Tevin Coleman with 2 touchdowns thus far. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. The Giants locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter of the Meadowlands. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers with 2 first-half touchdown passes. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success.
Yeah, he's got that nice little, what I call the QB lean going right now. You see that little stroll that he's got
swagger
going? Yeah, he's definitely got that. You see him throwing the football, the nice little video. He's seeing that in his head as well because he wants more of that to happen. So anytime you see him that relaxed, that comfortable, usually it's a big thumbs up for his team.
Yeah, it's been a big highlight day for him. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Throwing now is Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
Wentz steps away to his left. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. But it'll be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Wentz to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that dig?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. Wilson's got it complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, it's Rosen. Underneath, he's got Brate, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now on first down, Drake again. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now it's Rosen looking. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. They go play action here on first down. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Dwayne Allen, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and this is back to a 5-point game. That time a 9-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back now in Miami. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Throwing on first is Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wentz now to throw. And he finds his tight end, it's Ertz. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Eagles able to push further out in front. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Wentz's pass complete to Zach Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And Stills over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Stills was second on the team a year ago to the now departed Danny Amendola in the receiving yards category. And hard to believe, 5th year now with Miami after his first couple of years with Drew Brees in New Orleans, and now hoping he can form a bond with Josh Rosen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Parker unable to get that one. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. To throw again. Fitzpatrick. And Stills bringing it in. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Over the middle, complete. That's Drake. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Dancing to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal now as they look for that final dagger. Throwing again on second down. Wentz, the Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, but now it's third and goal. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Check 15, check 15.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And, oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Fitzpatrick set to lead this offense. Down by 11, a minute 51 on the clock. They need a touchdown with a 2-point conversion and a field goal in either order as they've got it first down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. Wilson snags it left side. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Wentz to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Here we go. 20.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be. Start your week by installing your game plan.